Hey guys, so this is part 4. I think what I'm going to do with this one is maybe go a little more in depth with the mixer, and I'm also going to show how to actually drag audio clips into the playlist. So we'll start with that. So what I want you to do now is, go into your packs and might as well play around with the vocal clip. So I think, those two will work for this. So what we should do is go to the playlist now and go to the magnet, snap to grid, and we will change it to beat. So what I'm gonna want to do here is I have this idea. I'm gonna put that clip on beats 2 and 4. So what you do is you drag and drop, and now that clip is inserted here. And what happens here is it'll make this group called audio clips, and it'll contain all the clips. So what we do, if we click it, we'll see when we click SMP sample, the sample is loaded right here, and there are a couple effects here, pre-computed effects. It's called pre-computed because when you click these buttons, it does these things before it actually plays the audio. So like if we click reverse polarity, this will flip the signal so that if the waveform is down here, it'll now be up here and vice versa. There are a couple useful things for this, but the most useful things I can think of are for recording purposes with microphone placement and all that, but that's a whole another topic. DC offset, again, that's for recording. Normalize, it will make it louder because it takes, I believe what normalization does is it takes the loudest point and makes that the maximum volume possible, and then it takes all the other points and boosts the gain on them relative to that. I would not recommend doing this on your individual tracks. Fade stereo, I don't really know what that does. Swap stereo, I think that flips the left and right channels, and reversal, take it and reverse it. Yes. So there's that, and you can also time stretch samples with pitch, something called a multiplicator, and this the time stretch. So if we like stretch it out, it just stretches it out. If we do the multiplicator, does a similar thing, except it's relative to a percentage, and pitch will just raise and lower the pitch. Yeah. So one question may be, how do you stretch the time without affecting the pitch? Well, you can go to here, and I think pretty much any of these options will do it for you. And one of the more popular options is Pro Transient. Just keep that in mind. So if you stretch it out now, it keeps the pitch. And again, that sort of leads into like a whole nother topic. I might actually make a tutorial video for stretching and pitch and all that, probably when I get to auto-tuning and fine-tuning your vocal. That'll be a pretty important video. Alright, so I'm gonna just put this back to where it was. Declicking, I haven't really looked into declicking all that much. I haven't really had to do it. I think one useful application for it is when, if like at the beginning or the end of your audio file, the wave is not at 0, what'll happen is when the audio file reaches the end, it'll go instantaneously from where it is to 0, and you'll hear a little click. And that's probably the use for this thing. I really haven't used these options. Like, I haven't really used Acid or Apple loops. I don't even know what these things do. And this is where you can access the actual WAV file that you're using currently, and then I believe that these are some of the most recent things that you've used. The most recent WAV files. Here's another important feature here. There's this window here that says cut and cut by. What this does, if you put this to say 1, it'll cut everything that's on the first group. And then if you put this to 1, this will be cut by everything that's cutting the first group. So if we say cut itself, it'll find the first group that's empty, and it'll say, well, I'm cutting the third group and I'm being cut by the third group. So basically what that means is the moment this file replays, it'll cut itself. So if you play it twice in the playlist, it'll cut itself the moment it starts again. That's pretty useful for things such as, I guess, hi-hats, where if you hit the hi-hat again, you don't want the decay of the previous hit to be there, because then it'll just add extra unnecessary noise. Another really useful feature for this would be, say, maybe you want the hi-hat pedal to chop off an open hi-hat sound, because once you close the hi-hat, you're no longer hearing the open hi-hat sound. So maybe that's why you want to cut sounds with the playing of other sounds. And again, that's yet another topic. And I've sort of been struggling with ways to express all this basic info, because you get to a certain point where once you start talking, it's just, you might say stuff that people don't understand, and I'm conscious of it, and I've been trying my best. So anyways, let's go back here and let's put this on beats 2 and 4. I think I covered all the stuff with audio files and all the features with the audio clips here, so that's out of the way. Again, a lot of this is with experimentation too. So one potential problem I see here is that this clip ends after all the other ones. So what's going to happen if we go to the very end and play, it's going to get to the end of this, and it's going to go a little bit after the beat before restarting, and it's going to sound a little out of sync. So what I'm going to do here is, actually I think there's a really easy option. Yeah, we can keep this on beat. You can go to the very right of the clip so that you see this left and right arrow, and you hold. Well, I guess it doesn't work anymore. From what I remember, when you go like this and hold, it would drag the clip. It would snap, it would truncate the clip so that it would end right here. Apparently it's not working the way I want to. So what I'm going to do is just drag this so that it ends a little bit before the beat. That'll be fine. So now if we play, first thing I'm hearing is that it sounds like it's coming a little bit after the beat. So what I'm going to do is select everything on this track, and I'm just going to drag it a little bit before, so that the huh comes out a little before the beat. And I feel like it's a little too early, so we'll just drag it a little to the right. And that's sort of important. What I sometimes do when I'm dragging audio clips, I turn the snapping off, so I go to none here, and let's play it again. So obviously just doing that over and over again might not be interesting enough, so what I'm going to do is put the snap back to beat, and maybe on the fourth measure, the different one, I'm going to drag this clip back and maybe put a new clip right after it. So we'll put that one here, and now let's listen to it. Now I felt like this clip was a little too loud. If I'm sending this clip to the same channel as the first one, what I'm going to try to do for this clip is I'm going to put the volume down a little bit and get these volumes to the same. And again, this is one of those set and forget things where I set the volume of this and then I just forget about that knob. I never touch it again. And I guess that's where I'm going to cut off this tutorial. So hopefully you can see where your working process will come in. This is already to the point where you can start experimenting with it yourself, and you can try to do different things. You don't have to follow my stuff exactly, although I actually would not recommend following my stuff exactly. Just a lot of it's about experimentation. All right, I guess that's it for this one.